We'd love for you to talk a bit about how the moon and our other friends of nature impact our menstrual cycles. So please do tell. I'm going to be taking some notes on this.
Yeah, so I touched on that just a little bit when I was talking about the four seasons and how I infuse that with the four phases of our cycle. So it's really interesting, this concept of menstruation and menses. That's like a Greek word that kind of means moon. And so way back in ancient Greece, those folks said, we think these women who are menstruating have some powers that are stemming from the moon. So that's where the word came from, at least based upon my research. And so, yes, there's been a lot of discussion about how the moon can impact our cycles. So if I just go back to the four phases that we were talking about before. So the menstruation phase, let's start there. That, when we're looking at the moon, that's considered the new moon, right? So that's like day one. Okay, so that's that new moon, that comes out. And then when we get into the next phase, the follicular phase, we call that like the waxing moon. Okay, the waxing moon. And then when we get to ovulation, that's a full moon. Okay, that's a full moon. Were you like, remember I told you ovulation's like, hey, let's get it. It's a full moon, right? And then the luteal phase, we think of this as sort of the third quarter, so to speak, is the waning moon. And so, when we are tracking our own cycle, remember we're all different. And so your own cycle may not necessarily sync up with those moon phases, that happen every month. But it can be really informative to pay attention to the cycles of the moon as you are tracking your own cycle, because lots of people say that they do indeed have or can have an impact. In that cycle journal that I mentioned earlier, there is an area in there where you can not only track your cycle, but you're tracking the phases of the moon as well to see if there's some overlap. Yes, you got to get that cycle tracking journal. It is the bomb. So yes, there is some connection. Now, the more westernized scientists, they're going to probably say that there's no connection. But us spiritual folks, a lot of us say, yes, there is, indeed a connection, and it's important to pay attention to it. And, even for those women who are no longer menstruating, who are in menopause, they can still track their cycle according to the moon cycle, because we are cyclical beings. We're still cycling. So yeah, those are some of the ways that those are connected.
So awesome.
Yes, I appreciate that.